Hello everyone. Today we're going to be going over a little bit about the 4C's. I know the 4C's can be really complicated when it comes to selecting a diamond. It's kind of overwhelming at first because the characteristics aren't like anything else you're used to. But I'm going to try to break it down in a really simple and easy way for you to grasp and kind of identify what's most important for you when you're picking a diamond. Before we jump on into that, I also have rings for us. Don't worry, I have different setting options. So I have 5 different engagement rings for us and 3 wedding bands to kind of just see how they pair together. So I'm going to start off with a solitaire ring. This is the Elodie ring. We've looked at this one before, but it is one of our most popular solitaires, and it has just the prettiest subtle nature-inspired detail, and that's the prongs that hold the ring. So this is our Elodie. I'm going to put her on. Top down, you're going to see it's a solitaire, and you're going to notice that the prongs, when I zoom in, are going to be a little bit different than the standard prong. So you guys are loving the Elodie. The Elodie also comes in a petite version, which is a little bit thinner on the band. So it's about 1.8 millimeters. If you want to maximize the daintiness of the ring, you can do 1.5 and just look up the petite Elodie. If you want to have more prongs, do a 6 instead of a 4. You can look up the Esme on the website. That is going to be the 6-prong version. So let me zoom on in. So here's the Elodie. See if I can give you that side profile. So if you look, try not to block it with my own fingers. If you look at the side, you'll see the prongs kind of swoop around in a really nice nature, almost floral way, which is why I put it with these nature-inspired rings that I have. So it's just a really lovely detail if you want something that's a solitaire, but maybe it's just like a little different from the traditional classic prong. I have another solitaire with me. This is a split shank. The split is very nature-esque, so I also included this one to have a little bit of nature ideas, but not too crazy in the nature theme if you want something a little bit more subtle. That one was a 1.25 carat for reference, and this one will also be a 1.25. So this is the Reverie. You can see from the side it has a trellis, which means it's kind of that swooping detail that you can see in the gallery. And top down, it has a split shank. So the band splits up to meet the diamond. Here is our top-down view. And it has like such a cool profile when you're looking at it. Like you can see the culet in the diamond. Like you can really get the view from all angles. This is a really nice like nature, almost geometric style. So here we go, looking at it a little bit closer. What's nice about this one too is it's almost cathedral set in a way, because it has like a nice swooping up because of that split shank. So it's not gonna snag on things if that's something that you're concerned about. Round 1.25 carat equivalent. The next one I have is a very strong favorite amongst Brilliant Earth and our customers. This is called the Willow, and the Willow comes in many different varieties. I have the standard Willow with us. So on the Willow, you will see it has a twisting theme. And little marquee diamonds, which look like little leaves. This one is also going to have a trellis. So that swooping detail from the side. And the willow comes in so many versions. So it comes as is. It comes in the budding willow, which is all metal, so it doesn't have the diamond accents, but it still has leaves. They're just metal leaves instead of diamond leaves. There's the luxe willow, so even the plain metal band has diamonds instead. There's the willow halo. We have willows with lab-created emeralds, willows with sapphires. If you look up willow on our website, you'll be able to see all of them. So far we've gone through the Elodie was the first ring, the Reverie was the second, and the Willow was the third. Next, another one of our favorites. We looked at this one last week, and I wanted to bring it back because it is one of our most popular nature-inspired styles. This is the Petite Twisted Vine. And the Petite Twisted Vine I have for us is rose gold today. Sorry, I'm trying to get it in focus. And the Petite Twisted Vine also comes in a couple different versions. We like to, create some variety so that you can kind of pick and choose your favorite parts of the rings. So this is the Petite Twisted Vine. This ring has one twist with metal and one twist with diamonds. So this really accentuates the twist so that you can really optimize, especially if you're doing this in all a white metal, it'll really optimize that. And the profile, it's going to look like this. This one's about 0.75, 0.8 carats. It's also a little bit too big for me. My ring finger on this size is probably about a 7 for reference. So if you wanted to think about carat in relation to ring size. So that's another one. Alrighty. And last but not least, we have one that people come in all the time for. When I read their surveys, they're just like, I just want to see the Fiorella. So this is the Fiorella ring that I have with us. The leaf details in the Fiorella are very much nature inspired. You feel the nature right away. And they have little diamond accents kind of hidden in that. So I'll show you the Fiorella here. It's kind of looks like the center stone is blooming from within. Oops. Put that one on. Another thing about the Fiorella, which I'll show you in a second, is the basket in which it's set in. Even has nature-inspired details, which is so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to zoom in really close and show you the basket. So you can see even the details there. This is also about a 1.25 carat. So if you want something almost this one I find is a combination of a 3-stone and a nature-inspired ring because it has those details. And then I also have the Willow wedding band if you wanted to check that out. So this is the Willow wedding band. This is a really popular ring for pairing with a solitaire. If you wanted to do something nature-inspired but maybe keep your engagement ring a little bit simple. I'm going to throw this on with the Elodie so you guys can see that. That looks really cute. And you can even do a stack. I'm going to throw a yellow gold pave band on top. So we have a little bit of nature. Okay, I'm going to throw on this yellow gold band with the Willow ER engagement ring. You can see even the contrasting metals look cool together. And let's throw on the Fiorella with the Willow one more time before I go into the 4C's. So it's another cute combo. So this is the Willow wedding band, Willow diamond ring, if you look it up on the website. This is the Fiorella, and the last one we had on was the Willow engagement ring. All part of that Willow family. So I'm going to kind of comb through these, just keep on showing you rings and talk about the 4C's. I have another plain metal wedding band, so maybe I'll pair those together too. The 4C's, like I said, can be really complicated. They can be daunting, but I'm going to make it really simple. I'm going to start with shape because although it's not a C, it is important. So round diamonds are also called round brilliance. The specific way in which they're cut is going to be really important, identifying what shape you want because it'll tie in with the other characteristics in different ways. So like I said, a round brilliant is in its own category. All of the other shapes, emeralds, radiance, marquise, cushions, on and on, are what we consider fancy shapes. So one reason I like to outline this is because it's going to be important when talking about carat. So carat is the measurement of weight in the stone. It's not necessarily the size. It will kind of correlate with size when we're talking about round diamonds. But if we're talking about like say ovals or marquise or cushions, it's going to vary a lot stone to stone. So carat is going to be all personal preference, how big or how dainty you want your stone. But if you look at the millimeter measurements of the stone, that'll be an accurate representation of how long, how wide, and how deep the stone will be. It's all available on the website. So if you want to use that to gauge size, it'll be really important. Just because weight can be distributed differently throughout stones. So you wanna utilize that to the best of your ability. Color is going to be the hue of the diamond. So think of it like an ombre. We have D being an icy, icy white diamond. We have Z at the very end of the alphabet being like a gold amber stone. We carry D through J, meaning as you work your way toward that J color, you're going to pick up on more and more of that subtle warmth. D, E, and F are going to be considered colorless. So if you want a white, icy diamond, usually people optimize in there. G is also a really good one. It's considered the jeweler's sweet spot. It doesn't really hold too much warmth, only when you're really comparing it to another more colorless diamond will you notice that warmth. You also have to be a little bit color sensitive as well. H, I, and J I tend to notice hold a little more warmth rather than the subtle warmth of a G. But if you're doing like a yellow gold band or a rose gold band, you're gonna have this heavy contrast of this warm metal. So you almost can get away with a little bit more on a warm diamond. Think about if you're putting a warm diamond against a cool tone, like a white gold or a platinum, then it's gonna contrast more, so you're gonna notice that warmth a little bit more. Cut is going to be directly correlated with how sparkly the diamond will be. So think of it like the sparkle category. We carry fair, good, very good, ideal, and super ideal. I recommend very good as a minimum if sparkle is something that's important to you. And then optimizing from there is going to be two different things. One, if you're doing a round diamond, it's pretty easy to get an ideal or a super ideal cut. There's actually a math equation that goes into cutting a round diamond, so they know how to do it pretty efficiently. So shooting for a super ideal, usually a good option. Fancy shaped diamonds are a little bit harder to find that. It's just a little bit less optimized. There's no math equation, like I was mentioning before. So if you want to optimize, it's going to be a question of availability. If you can find an ideal or a super ideal fancy shape, definitely a great one to maximize on. We all love sparkle. We're getting a diamond because it's sparkly. It's also probably because it's durable, but sparkly too. So think about it in that sense. I'm gonna throw on these two. And then we have clarity. Clarity is a really common one for people to get confused about. because it kind of sounds like how clear the diamond is. And people get that mixed up kind of with how white the diamond is. So don't think of it like how clear. Think of it like the amount of internal characteristics. So when the diamond is formed, whether it's a lab diamond or an actual diamond, the carbon will align differently. So when it does, sometimes you occur these little internal characteristics within the stone. Clarity starts down at I3. We start at Si2. So Si2 means slightly included 2. That means there is some chance that their stone will have a visible inclusion. Si1, you're going to decrease that a little bit, but it's still technically slightly included. And then we work our way up to VS2. That's going to be very slightly included. You're not going to notice the flaws with the naked eye when you're at the VS2 range. You will definitely see them under a magnifying glass. So if you pull out your jeweler's loupe, you'll be able to spot those flaws. But if you just want to maximize the value of the stone, VS2 is usually a really, really good spot to be. Rarity is going to be a big one for clarity. It definitely affects how rare the diamond is. So if you want to maximize the rarity factor of your diamond, this is where you can go up in clarity. You can go up to flawless, internally flawless, maximize it a little bit there. So everyone's going to have different recommendations based on, what you're trying to optimize. Color is a big one for a lot of people. I would say most people choose to optimize on color. Clarity is one where people usually kind of end up in the middle, but it's personal preference. All of this is personal preference. I can't stress that enough. There are so many different reasons to choose different categories. I would say, throughout the industry, cut is definitely one that people recommend optimizing for. If you have specific questions, I would definitely recommend, once again, reaching out to a jewelry specialist because, like I said, it can get so complex and we want to break it down and make it simple for you. So I hope this was helpful. If you do have more questions, feel free to give us a call, send us a chat, book a virtual appointment. That'll be super helpful. There's also a lot of different characteristics that go into the diamond choosing. If you look in the advanced filters of our website, you'll see those. Those are usually more particular. Stick to the 4C's. Find out what your preferences are there, and you will be good to go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.